You proudly take a friend through your new house and you say,
all right, fine. Let's just pretend that I have the ability to make friends and don't send people screaming in all directions when I tell them that my job is arguing with stupid people on the internet. Or, slur, "You're my best mate," constantly at them because I'm just so drunk I make Ernest Hemingway seem like a lightweight. What I am really gonna be saying is, look at me! I bought a house in this f***ing economy. I must be richer than umami cheesecake. Smarm, come and have a gander at my etchings. At which point I lose yet another friend. It's almost like I'm doing it on purpose.
didn't the builder do a great job?
No, why would I do that? Like seriously, even if it was brand new, just built, I wouldn't think that, because you just kinda don't. Unless they went out of their way to lovingly leave notes around the house to explain how they put all the extra work into each and every part of the house, and honestly, I would find that pretty annoying pretty fast. But ultimately, my experience with contractors, the greatest praise I'm likely to give them is, wow, they hardly up anything. Look how the front door actually kinda fits. Only minimal kicking needed to open and close it. Oh, the roof. It only leaks when it gets wet. Get what you pay for, I suppose, especially when you do it entirely in pennies. What do you mean I'm the arsehole?
But instead of agreeing with you and giving him the praise that he deserves, he says,
why the hell are we talking about that? I'm only here because you promised me a theme park with blackjack and hookers. This is none of those things. I'm starting to think I won't even get to gamble away all my money whilst getting a soapy tit wank on a Ferris wheel. And at that point, I really doubt life's worth living.
I don't believe there was a builder. You're amazed.
You've made this point like 8,000 times in this video series alone, right? But that doesn't make it more true. A stupid idea repeated times a million is just a million times stupid, not somehow smarter. Think of it this way. If I had a pile of dog crap and I cloned it, for reasons no one could really comprehend, umpteen times, I'm not suddenly going to have a lump of solid gold. I'm just going to find it a lot harder to get out of my new house. Also, it's a bit ruined.
You wonder if your friend has just suddenly become mentally challenged, or did he bang his head on an exposed beam?
Oh, bless. That's what we wonder about the two of you every single day. That, or are you doing an elaborate joke? I mean, I did get this comment from you guys' channel, which was confusing to say the least. I mean, is this an earnest enjoyment of my Mickey taking, or is it some epic god tier cope? That or a complete misunderstanding of what's happening here. Or conspiracy theory time. That comment is from the interns who absolutely hate working for these guys and need an outlet to tell the world what they really think of their bosses. I like that one because it means people are suffering.
I mean, why would he deny that there was a builder? And then a light goes on in your head.
Oh, right. This is an absolutely terrible analogy for God creating the universe. Of course, it's also obvious now. Maybe I should stop and come up with a new idea that doesn't involve things that don't mesh together in any way, shape, or form. Or I guess I could just keep saying the same shit forever. I mean, what good has thinking ever done for us? Apart from all the shit thinking has done for us. That doesn't count, because it proves me wrong.
You smile and you say, so there's some problem between you and the builder. You had a falling out.
No, don't you dare. No, for f***'s sake, Kirk. People don't stop thinking other people exist just because they fell out. Amazing you found a way to make this whole idea make even less sense. People don't not believe in God because they're mad or want to spite God or any of that shit. They don't believe because, get this right, they don't believe. The idea is unconvincing. The certainty they have for God's existence is zero. If they're just pretending God doesn't real, then they think God is real, you absolute dip. And I mean a bad dip for my biscuits like cream or yogurt. And certainly not a good one like whiskey. Love me a good dip in whiskey.
And you're just so angry with him that you deny that he even exists. I mean, that's your only logical conclusion.
Only logical conclusion? That or your friend is the builder and is just trying to be polite that you keep talking about some third party who, well, literally doesn't exist when they did it, and this is their house, not yours, and they're trying to get you to leave. But even if we go with your strange idea, surely they wouldn't pretend there was no house builder. If they fell out with John House Builderman, they would more likely say it was someone else who did it, since we know houses are built by builders. Although, let's roll further with your idiocy. What if it turned out you had come up with a new way of generating houses that doesn't involve a builder? Like the houses were grown, perhaps. Then talking about some ethereal builder would be a pretty strange thing to do. Also, growing houses sounds pretty cool, actually.
You can't think of any other reason why an intelligent, rational human being would suddenly abandon logic and basic reasoning and deny something so blatantly obvious.
And the blatantly obvious part is where your entire comparison falls down. Now, if you haven't been keeping up with the series or haven't heard the Idiot Apologetics 101 or Ideolotics idea, thing have human maker, therefore universe have maker. But as said, infinity plus 1 times before, the only reason why assuming that a thing made by HOOMANS was made by HOOMANS is because HOOMANS make those things. We know they do, we can watch them do it, we can find many examples of HOOMANS doing it. We have nothing of the sort for universes. But we do have other reasonable, rational, logical explanations for them, so we use those instead. In fact, if we bring the idea down from such a grand scale and just say, you find a tree, you know someone made it because people make cars. And suddenly everyone looks at you like you're an insane person. Scale it up to the landmass and it's still just as stupid. Scale it up to the planet. Guess what? And it's not getting any better by just making it bigger. It's not a bottle of whiskey.
You believe there's no God, right?
Right.
Okay, so let me ask you, if you were to, say, make a cow.
Oh look, it's a vox pop. That's a vox shock. I swear to this day, I don't get how anyone, even in their audience, finds this a convincing way to demonstrate anything. Like seriously, unless you were just a completely intellectually dishonest dickbag, there's no way you would find the opinions of some rando more representative of the actual sciencing of science guys than, you know, asking actual scientists. Oh right, that's exactly what they do. Because of all the lying.
How would you start? What would you do? How would you make a cow?
Make a cow?
So first off, you go down to the cow store and buy a cow kit. Then you stick all the cow arms and cow legs to the cow chest and add as many cow heads as you can fit in order to provide the 17 cow stomachs with enough food to maintain peak cow efficiency. Come on, Kirk, this is basic stuff. I thought even you would know this.
You don't get to start with leather, right? Because that's where the cow comes in. So how would you start?
With a gun to blow my fucking brains out? Because that is a completely ridiculous question that any person who understands even the most basic elements of biology would never even think to ask. Like seriously, even God doesn't make cows. In fact, the cow of today is probably more man-made than even nature-made. Why do you think they are mostly muscle, yet are absolutely terrible at weightlifting contests? When was the last time you saw a cow winner? Never, because they're a cow dinner. No, I'm not sorry that was such a shit joke.
Well, I don't know. That's a good question.
Actually, no, it's not a good question. And way to prove my point, leaving the umming and ahhing in order to try and make her look like she doesn't know what she's talking about. But the thing is, when you ambush people in public and ask them stupid questions on camera, whilst you also have a script to read from, / you have rehearsed, that doesn't make you look smart, it makes you look dishonest. I know, beating a dead monster cow, but they started it.
But I don't think that
perfect for it to just.
Well, as an atheist myself for a lot of years, I kind of said, well, hey, look, I'm having a great time in my life, frankly, and I'm not going to join all these religious nuts and start believing in fairy tales.
What the hell has that got to do with making a cow? If I remember correctly, atheism has almost nothing to do with the cow construction industrial complex. Also, random dude over there, cows are too perfect. Are you completely insane? Cows produce filthy, useless milk instead of delicious, nutritious, great in a coffee whiskey. And since they don't, that proves that not only did God not make them, but that no God could possibly exist. End of story.
But one day I started thinking about the fact that, okay, if I die and I find out that there is a God, I'd really want to know before I die.
That would be nice, and considering all the claims of all-loving and that kind of jazz, you would think a perpetual, physically impossible, inexplicable by anything other than God, constant sign of his existence would be there. You know, thinking about it, it's really weird that he doesn't do that. And actually, now that you've brought it up, the fact that it isn't a thing kind of proves that he couldn't exist in a way consistent with your claims. Thanks for clearing that up, Kirk.
So God, is there any way that you could give me some clues? Maybe I'm just looking at the glass half empty instead of half full.
And then you looked at things that were not even remotely clues and said, oh, I guess God real then. dude, just because as an atheist you didn't actually think about why you were an atheist doesn't mean not thinking when you are a theist. It's just as reasonable a reason to believe that. Not thinking is a poor reason to believe anything.
And when you think about stuff like Jeff, I don't know how I'd begin to make a Jeff. I can't start with eyes or ears, and if I were to make his vascular system, do I start by making a heart or the blood or the veins?
Right, okay, so how would you start making a TV from scratch? No components from manufacturers, no instructions on how those things work, and most importantly, no access to any technological breakthroughs from throughout the years, just the command make tuv. You likely wouldn't know where to start on that either, because it's a highly complex piece of equipment, and yet today, people shit them out like hotcakes, because they learned how to do that from the culmination of previous knowledge. Today, no, probably couldn't make a HOOMANS from scratch, but given enough time and knowledge, and probably a couple of bucks, it's entirely possible that HOOMANS could be constructed much like a TV or a car or whatever. So anything you're about to say about God did it though doesn't hold up before you even try to say it.
And if we all evolved, which one came first? Because none of the others can even have a function if they're not all three there at the same time.
Oh look, Kirk doesn't know how evolution works. Me am the big surprises. Oh, it's almost like none of them came first in that sense. It's almost like evolution doesn't f***ing work like that. And they evolved and changed to complement each other as if the parts of HOOMANS just evolved in separate piles and someday just joined together, you blithering idiot. Although I'll be honest, the idea of meat piles all forming into people does sound like an excellent plot from a horror movie. Someone should get on that. But don't ask me where to get piles of human meat from. I have no idea. And I don't know why you think I would. Really.
Wait, what scares you most in life?
What scares me most in
What's the
life?
most frightening thought you can think of?
Oh, it's right there in front of me, having you come up and ask me your questions. Not because I think they're difficult or that I wouldn't be able to answer them, it's just that they're so freaking dumb. I'm pretty sure I would immediately fall down and crack my head open, and then my brain cell would leak out. I need that to do for smart making.
Maybe not having the freedom to believe what I want or do what I want.
Oh shit, quick, cut away. We really want to take that away from people. And before you start, you two, if that's not what you want, then why do you lie about what the science says? By giving people faulty information about reality, you are absolutely diluting their ability to believe what they might otherwise, if they understood it better. But now they have a completely skewed notion of it and are more malleable to yet more false information that you just so happen to be providing.
Therein lies the problem between the professing atheist and God.
Oh, okay, here it comes. My problem with God. I mean, here I was thinking that I was simply unconvinced of the shitty arguments of every theist I have ever met, and their complete and total undeniable lack of anything that even approaches evidence. But good old Ray is going to tell me what my real problem is. I'm betting it's not enough booze.
There is a state of hostility between them. He does have a reason for being unreasonable. He objects to the moral standards of God.
Oh, never mind, it's because I object to the moral standards of God. Whatever the fuck that means. Thanks for letting me know what is in my brain and why. You know, it's always the smartest, most honest, non-complete fuckwits who genuinely believe they have psychic powers and know for 100% certain why other people do or say any given thing. Thanks for letting me know. I mean, it's weird that has absolutely nothing to do with the fact that your claims about God are stupid and I wouldn't believe them if they were somehow the last belief system on Earth. But yeah, cool. Thanks.
He says, God, don't you tell me what to do with my life. I love my lust, my fornication, my adultery, and my pornography.
What do you even say to that? I mean, aside from the fact that there are atheists who do none of those things, let alone that one would love to do them above the sheer insane punishments offered by your guy, but so many Crimsby Bobs do all those things and continue to do them and will never stop. The only difference is they can just say, "Me, I'm so sorry, won't do again," and apparently can be forgiven, and then do it all over again, and again.
And again, 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 and again.
It's my life, and I'll do what I want with it. I'm therefore going to go to the extreme of denying your very existence.
So there it is. We actually believe, but for some reason think it's a good idea to go against the will of an all-powerful being, a being so all-powerful that he must have known we were going to do that. So why did he make it so that we could do that? Because if he knew that would happen and made us anyway, then effectively he made us to do that. You know what, guys? I'm starting to think that religion might be bollocks.
Wait, before you go, I have something super important to tell you. It's life or death. It will change everything forever. Nope, wait, it's gone. Oh well, probably wasn't important. But while I have you, don't forget to comment, subscribe and notify. And if you want more of my smexy voice, check out Mrs. Six's channel Spoonstaff Stories, where I narrate and voice all the videos, and she does the work. And if you want to support the channel, check out the merch store for cool t-shirts, or check out Patreon, memberships and PayPal to support directly. Finally, follow me on the medias of social to get completely pointless guff and to keep up on the latest releases. Oh, I just remembered what I was going to tell you. Whatever you do, don't touch the...